Man, I hope this works. All right. I pulled out an old thing that I bought when I first started. Anyways, we're going to make potato soup today. I think it's loaded potato soup. So you want to start with a whole package of bacon, and you would chop that up and brown it in here. But I make mine in the oven, so I just cook it off in the oven and then I chop it up and it's ready to go. So it does say to reserve 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. So I always have bacon grease. And so that's what we're going to start with. You're going to... So you're going to cook your bacon however you want to. You can fry it in the pan or you can put it in the oven. I cook mine for about 17 to 20 minutes, depending on 400, depending on, how crispy I want it. So it says to reserve 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. So there we go. 1, 2. Oh, and we're going to get that off of there. Meanwhile, I have this other pot over here that's heating up. We're going to use that in a minute because you have to use 2 pots. I mean, I've tried to figure it out how you don't, but, it is what it is. You do have to. Anyways. Okay. We're going to cook our onions in the bacon grease. I'm going to get it going a little bit quicker. I didn't really heat that one up. Then over here, that's where your broth and your potatoes are going to go, which I'm just going to start our broth now. Usually, I brown my onion in here. So I'm just doing it the way that the directions say for now. Either way, you got to make a roux. So either way, you got to make a roux. So we're going to brown our onions, and then, we're going to put them in here. Yeah, it doesn't make no sense. But, it is what it is. I'm following the recipe, and then, because I kind of I get off track while I'm trying to teach, or show or whatever. And so I got to be careful. I got to watch it. So I'll just follow this one to the letter. Either way, it's an awesome recipe. It's really good soup. Like I say, after the end, if you think that it needs something that you like, then by all means, add whatever. But this is just the basics. That's what I always say. It's like a basic recipe that you can go off of, and then, you do your own thing. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I'm like, if it ain't broke, we ain't fixing it. If it doesn't need it to me, I'm like, I've found several recipes that I'm like, that's delicious just the way it is. I don't need to do anything to it. And then I've found several recipes where, you do need to do stuff to it. But that's okay. And I've found recipes that, it needs to just go in the trash. And nobody ever needs to look at something like that again. Some of these healthy recipes, I'm like, no. I'm over the cottage cheese thing. I like just home-cooked meals, and you just, don't eat too much. I mean, I know it's easier said than done. Because, I'm overweight. But I'm not as overweight as I used to be. So, that's all good. I'm loving my body, which took me many years to do. Anyways, we're going to cook those up a little bit in the bacon grease. And I can't turn my fan on because it's loud and annoying, and I don't even really think it works very well. So you're just going to have stuff coming at you. Okay, and then I'm going to give that a little bit longer, not too long though, because I want to get moving. And I love onions, so it's not a big deal if it's, to me. You want to cook them till they're translucent, I'm pretty sure. Tender. It says 6 minutes. We don't got that kind of time. I ain't keeping you here for 6 minutes. I'm going to just go forward with that. So it's 1.5 cups of onion, chopped onion. And, you know, you can put it in. You don't have to. I do believe I've made this without it. Because, you know, some people don't like onion, but... Alright, we're going. That's alright. And then you add it to this with your... Okay, so it's the onion, the chicken broth, which is 6 cups of chicken broth. If you buy those cartons, it's 2 of those. And then 2 pounds of, you know, diced potato. And I literally do weigh my potatoes out to 2 pounds. So, just, you know, like I said, you don't gotta, but sometimes it's nice to have step-by-step directions. All right, and then we're going to get that bowl in, I'm pretty sure. So, see, it already looks delicious. There's a big old piece of potato in there, but whatever. The husband's eating this now, so. Okay, let's see. And then, okay, we got to go back to this one. And we're gonna, so this needs to boil for 10 minutes until the potatoes are tender. But meanwhile, in this skillet, we're gonna heat our butter. We're gonna turn this down because it's on high. We're gonna heat our butter over low heat and then stir in our flour. So we're gonna make a roux. And it calls for 2/3 cup of flour, or I'm sorry, of butter, 2/3 cup of butter. So what I did was I just cut 2 1/3. I took 2 sticks of butter and I cut them to 1/3 and then just put the other stuff in my butter pan or my butter dish. The other piece instead of, you know, trying to get it in a cup or something. I'm not, you know, I don't want to do that. So, I used to have my light on, but it glares. I can't put the light on. So we'll get this melted. It's Friday, everyone. I almost said y'all, but I am not Southern. But hey, you know, I can say that if I want to. But I'm excited. It's the weekend. And I've been going to church, and I'm excited for my church time. I need to read the Bible more. I have been putting it off more often than I'm called. I'm like, oh, I know I gotta read it, and then I don't. And then I know I gotta read it, and I don't. I did read this morning, so I feel better. Eventually I do it, but I need to just do it when I'm told to. All right, 2/3 cup of butter melted. Now we're gonna stir in 3/4 cup of flour, and I always just throw it in there. I don't, you know, it's all gonna go. It's all fine if you stir and mix. It won't be lumpy. No lumpy clumpy. Okay, we're going to cook this off for about 2 minutes. And if you want to, you can set a timer. I like to do that sometimes because I missed the, let's just do that right now. Because sometimes I don't cook it long enough. And it's, I haven't done that in a long time. When I first started cooking, I didn't know you needed to cook the flour off. So then I'd be like adding seasoning, salt, and then it'd be too salty. And I'm like, oh man. Thank goodness for the internet, man. And YouTube University. Holla, YouTube. Alright, we got the potato mixture boiling. So that'll be 10 minutes. I got another timer. I love timers. I use them because I forget I have to. And so timers everywhere. No, I only have 2, but that's okay. Well, I guess I have 3 because my one has 2 on it. Yeah, I think I got this years ago off of Amazon. It's got 2 different timers, so it's kind of nice because I can set it for 2 different things. We'll put that down. I'm going to continue to stir. We're down to 40 seconds. And then we're going to pour 2 cups of 4. We have to have 4 cups of milk. And we're going to pour 2 cups in here. And then probably pull it because my stuff hasn't boiled yet because I got a little ahead of myself. But I'm just trying to do this like, you know, real quick for you guys. Probably going to have to pause while these boil. I don't even boil that high. There we go. But we'll make this part. And then I'll pause. There we go. That's cooked. And it does say low heat, so we will turn it down just a bit. Okay, got my 4 cups. 4 cups of milk. And it says pour gradually stirring 2 cups. Pour milk mixture in the potato mixture. So here we go. 2 cups. There you go. There's 2 cups. Now that'll thicken up because you just basically made gravy. I mean, basically. Milk gravy. Which is delicious gravy, by the way. Okay. It gets pretty thick. And we'll just take it off the heat. Alright, we can just put it over here for a hot second. Okay, I want to thin it out, but I'll wait. Alright, we're gonna pause. Still waiting. Okay, here we go. You're gonna learn with me. This had to sit. So you're gonna take this. Make sure you boil this for 10 minutes. And then, like I'd say within 5 minutes, start this. But I think it'll be fine. You just gotta make sure it gets all mixed up. Because it might, it's gonna clump. Because it's thick. I mean, it's thick. So, alright. And then you're going to take this, pour this mixture into your potato mixture. It's going to come out just fine too. And we're going to stir, stir, stir. And then I'm going to scrape that too. So you're going to, get that all incorporated. So yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter if you get it done and set it aside. Like I said, I've never done that before. I've just had it done when these are done, but that's all right. All good. Make sure you check your potatoes. It says to boil 10 minutes, but I had to boil like 12. So make sure you check for doneness on your potatoes. And see, yeah, it's all thick now. And so I'm going to scrape this stuff off. Like I say, we gotta get it all. Alright, and we're gonna just plop that in there. Alright, set that aside. A little water. Mix again. I'm going to turn this down though because this pot tends to stick. Potato soup especially sticks to the bottom. So, you know, if you use a cast iron pot, which I got this on Amazon and I will have my link in there. And that reminds me, please share, please follow. I would love for that. I wasn't cooking for a while, quite a while. I wasn't putting up videos because I figured it out. I was like, why did I stop? Oh, well, I stopped because my husband went on the carnivore diet for 2 years. And now he's not doing it anymore. So I didn't have nobody to eat the food that I wanted to make. So, yeah. Anyway, so you got that all going. And then, let's see. Then pour milk mixture. Okay, pour that in there. Add the remaining 2 cups of milk. Here we go. Yeah, it's already starting to stick a little bit on the bottom. I do love these though. It's not, you know, if you stay on top of them, they won't stick. But stuff like this, I'd say cream and all that goodness. Like, I love this for my roast. Like, I don't use the crock pot for my roast anymore. I put it in the oven. And it takes less time too. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's way better. Just baked in your oven in a, you know, in a Dutch oven. And yeah, it's just, I think it's just better. You know what? I thought I had every ingredient. And once again, I don't have one of the ingredients out, which is fine. It's okay. Now I just gotta run over here. Run. I don't run. Yeah, I don't even. Told my husband once that I'm sorry, I don't run. So if we ever have to run for our lives, you better dig in and just we'll fight together because your wife ain't making it nowhere. I gotta fight. I can't do it, you know, or I don't know. I always put that situation in my head that if we ever had to run, that I gotta just stay and fight because I can't run. But I guess it could be. I guess I might die because it could be anything like a tsunami or something. I mean, if you got the doomsday going on, I do live like pretty close to the coast. And I guess it could happen, but I highly doubt it. Anyways, let's get back to cooking. That's enough of that nonsense. Okay, now you're going to take, it says a cup of ham. I had some ham from a ham I made a while back. I froze it. And so we're going to add the cup of ham. And then, you know, that bacon you cooked up and chopped, you're going to add half of that in there. Let's see, that's about half. But you know what? I add it all because they only keep the other half for garnish. So I'm adding it all. You know, garnish is not what you don't need to garnish in my household. You just get a bowl of soup and eat. Ooh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then you got to add a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon of salt. And of course, you're going to season to your taste, you know. This, I mean, you know, some stuff, I like a little cayenne. I like that little heat on the back end. It's kind of good. I've never done it to this, but I bet it'd be really good. I don't know. I've never really done it, but it sounds good right now, but I ain't doing it. I'll do it next time. I'm going to put this up, though. This is going, we might eat like lunch tomorrow on it, but this is going in my freezer for later. Yeah, it freezes really well. Okay, you added your salt and pepper. And now you're going to go in with 2 cups of cheese. And I'm just gonna grab some. I shredded this yesterday. Yeah, it's always best to use just get a block of cheese and shred it. Cheese freezes, so you could get a couple blocks when they're on sale, just those 8-ounce blocks, because once you shred it, it's like a couple cups. So, you got plenty of cheese, but it'll, sit in your freezer for a few, and you just pull it out, let it thaw, and use it. Not sliced cheese though. That doesn't freeze very well, because when it thaws, it breaks apart. So just you can freeze milk, you can freeze tomatoes, you can freeze a bunch of stuff, and you can freeze stuff in your mason jars. Just leave headspace, and I mean, I didn't know that till I was older. And I'm talking like 40s. That's all right. I didn't grow up with the internet, so I had to learn how to cook on my own. Trial and error. So I started cooking with boxes and packages and rice-a-roni and all that stuff. And I know how to make all that now. Anyways. And it calls for a half a cup of green onions, but I don't put them in it. That is one thing that I do garnish this with, is green onions, because I like them more fresh. And so, yeah, there you go. You got potato soup and, oh, wait, I forgot an ingredient. I'm so sorry. See, that's why I'm the forgetful cook, but I remembered. You got to add a cup, an 8-ounce container, or a cup of sour cream, which it's good that I kind of forgot until the way end, because you gotta watch that heat with some of this creamy. It's with the dairy, because it can curdle. Oh, I can't believe I forgot that. I can, because I'm over here babbling. That's all right. That's all right. I didn't forget. So. But, yeah, I like to also maybe sometimes put a dollop of sour cream on top. The cold and the heat, just, so good sometimes together. Yeah, so there you go. I guess now you have potato soup. It's loaded potato soup. Of course, like I said, I always put the directions in the directions place or whatever. I'm just, wow. All right. I don't know. This probably took half an hour with my luck. What are we at? Oh, 23:20. Well, I want to tell y'all, I hope you have a good weekend. Which by the time I post this, I'll try to get it on tonight. So, yeah. And God bless you all.